How can I find more time to do the things in my business that bring me joy? Because when you start doing all of those things, your life is going to supercharge. You are going to skyrocket into the land of happiness, energy, and just pure greatness.
Welcome to Biggest Best Life, the podcast that dares you to dream big, live louder, and step fully into the rockstar life you are made for. You're not too late, you're right on time, and we're just getting started. Here's your host, Lauren Chapman.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Biggest Best Life. I'm your host, Lauren Chapnick. And recently, I have been thinking about what has been going well. What are the things in my life, in my business, that I love to do and that I want to invite more of into my life? What is working? So often we focus on the negative, what isn't working, and we get down on ourselves so easily. I know I do. If I don't exercise for a few days in a row, I definitely feel less energized, but I am very hard on myself about it. I say, "Oh, I can't believe I haven't worked out. What is wrong with me? What am I doing? What did I spend my time on? Why didn't I get this done?" Instead of saying, "Okay, what is going well?" Because when you focus on what is going well, you invite more of it into your life. What you focus on expands. So, this phrase came to me because I was actually thinking what was going well was how I am using my morning time recently. I'm working as a school nurse. I work part-time hours, but I work Monday through Friday every day. And I was having a hard time finding the hours in the day where I can get things done on my business, on this podcast, and on my speaking. And I couldn't figure it out. And recently I started getting up crazy early. I've been getting up around 4 a.m., which sounds nuts, but I'm going to bed a lot earlier and it's working so well. The house is silent, nobody's awake, and I get a good solid 2 hours at least before I have to leave for work. And it is going so well. And I was talking about it the other day with a friend of mine, and this phrase just kind of popped into my head. I said, "Okay, good, more." And what I mean by that is this: okay, let's acknowledge what is working. Good means what feels good about this? What exactly is working about this? And more is how can I amplify this feeling even more? How can I step it up even more? If getting up a couple hours earlier than you normally would and going to bed a little earlier, shifting your schedule is working for you, how can you improve that? How can you step that up even more? Can you set up your morning space so that you are ready to go, so you can really utilize that time? Can you have a specific plan of what you're going to do? Can you maybe even tweak it a little bit and get up just 10 minutes earlier? Or can you have a favorite coffee to go with it so that experience is just even better? How can you plan your life so that this thing that is going so well can go even better? Because when you are attracting more positive things into your life, you are opening yourself up to be more creative, more resilient, and your life is just going to get better. And it's so easy to focus on the positive things. I'm going to give you a toolkit today. We're going to build a list. We're going to break it up into categories, and I will put this list in the description of the show, in the show notes, so that you are able to build your own list and use it as your own tool. Why does this work? Well, our brain has something called the negativity bias, and that is the tendency of our brain to focus on the negative. That's why it's just so easy for us to gossip about other people or to get down on ourselves or to complain. Our brain wants to focus on the negative. It's the negativity bias. But in studies in positive psychology, specifically with Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory, it's been proven that if you focus on positive things, it expands your creativity and your resilience. In other words, what you focus on expands. It literally strengthens your neural pathways. Dr. Rick Hansen describes this as experience dependent neuroplasticity. That's a mouthful. But basically, what that means is what you notice, you get more of. So, my theory, okay, good, more, is basically neuroplasticity simplified. So, here's what we're going to do we're going to build a list of everything that's going right, all the things that have brought us joy that we want more of. And we are going to say, okay, let's acknowledge that it's working. Good. What is it that feels good about this? Why is this working? And more. How can I invite more of this into my life? Even if it's just 1% more, that is going to open up the possibilities for you. So let's look at these different categories of our life and see what is going right. The first is health. When it comes to your health, when it comes to exercise, eating, sleep hygiene, taking walks in nature, everything that is related to your health, what has felt good for you this year? We're coming up on the end of the year, but it doesn't matter when you're listening to this. In the last year or so, what has gone well? What has made you feel incredible, energized? Did you take a class? Did you take a yoga class? Even if it was just once a few months ago and you loved it, instead of beating yourself up and saying, what is wrong with me? Why haven't I gone back? Think, what felt good about this class? Put it on your list. What meals did you eat that made you feel really good? Did you do you feel better when you plan your meals? Do you feel better if you buy your lunch at work because they have really healthy options there? What feels good? What has lit you up? What has energized you? The next category is friendship and connection. We are social beings. We need connection with other humans. Loneliness is so detrimental to our health and our happiness. What have you done recently in the last year that has made you feel so good when it comes to friendships and connections? Was it that lunch with your best friend? Was it picking up the phone and calling that friend on your way home from work and having, even if it was just 10 minutes? Was it stepping out of your comfort zone and going to a networking event and you happened to make a great connection with somebody? Was it going to a conference? Was it, I don't know, what was it in your friendship and connection bucket that filled you up this year? And how can you invite more of that into your life? Okay, the next category is family and your romantic partner. When it comes to your family, your kids, your spouse, your domestic partner, your parents, your cousins, your family, what has lit you up this year? What felt good? Was it maybe it was saying no to something that you felt obligated to? And you want to invite more of that into your life. Maybe it was date night that you have such a tough time prioritizing, but when you did, when you went out to dinner last week, That was incredible. So, what was it? Was it having a special experience with your kids? Was it simple things like movie night? Was it going on a vacation? What was it with your family and your romantic partner that worked? And what do you want to invite more of? Next up, we have joy and fun. You know, one of my 4 core questions is how can this be more fun? What did you do? What have you done recently that is just for you, that is just for fun? Is there a hobby that you nurtured even just one time? Maybe you took a horseback riding lesson or an art class, or you sat and wrote in your journal, or you played outside with your kids, or you went for a hike with your husband. What did you do that brought you joy? What was it? And it's okay if you're having a hard time thinking of things. I know it's going to come to you because it can be the simple little things. Write it down, put it on your list. There's no wrong answer unless it's something negative, but we are focusing on what we want to bring more of into our lives. We're saying, okay, good, more. Next up is growth and learning. What have you done to expand your mind? What have you done to grow and learn this year? Have you read any books that really spoke to you? What podcasts have you listened to? Did you attend an event that really just opened your mind? A conference, anything? What was it that really challenged your brain to learn and grow? Write it down. Next up is spirituality. You don't have to be a religious person to write a bunch of things down in this category. What has gone well for you recently? If you do practice a religion, did you go to a service recently that spoke to you? Do you journal? Do you have a meditation practice or a yoga practice? How do you invite spirituality into your life, and what has gone well recently? Now, we're going to take this list and you can keep expanding it as often as you like. And this is going to be your toolkit. You're not going to do all of these things all at once. I want you to read through it at least once a day. The best time to do it is right before you go to sleep, so it's fresh in your mind. I want you to look at that list and say, what jumps out at me the most? Which thing is a hell yes? And as you're planning your week, as you're thinking about your day tomorrow, as you're planning your life, I want you to schedule one of those things, the thing that jumped out at you, whatever it is. Schedule that dinner reservation with your husband and book that babysitter, or block out a 20-minute time for yourself in the morning to have that cup of coffee and write in your journal. Because I guarantee you, when you start scheduling these things that bring you complete joy and fulfillment, and that you put on this list, my okay, good, more list, you are going to open yourself up more than you can even realize. You're going to attract more of those things into your life and open yourself up to even more creative possibilities. And you are going to be on your way to living your biggest, best life. And it does not have to be so complicated. Now, if you run a business, if you're an entrepreneur, or you are in the beginning stages of starting a business, or you're in the dreaming stages of wanting to start a business, there's a whole other list that you can make. But let's start with a few basic questions. How do you love spending your time in your business? What are your favorite things to do? If you look back in the last year, what were the best moments of your business? What do you love to do? Is it speaking? Is it writing your blog? Is it making connections with other people? How did you love spending your time? What gave you that boost of energy? What is it that you love so much about your business? How do you love to spend your time? Who did you meet that inspired you? What risks did you take? When did you step out of your comfort zone? And how did that feel? Why would you want to do something like that again? If so, what would you want to be the same? What would you want to be different? You can make this list in your business, how you like to spend your time, who did you meet that inspired you, what risks did you take? And all of those things are going to help your business and help you. But that list that we made at the beginning about all the areas in your life, if all of those are supercharged, you will be supercharged in your business. You will learn to attract what makes you feel good and what works, and your life will get exponentially better. Exponential growth of happiness is what we want. Your biggest, best life is already happening. This tool, okay, good, more, it just helps you amplify it. We're just going to tune into the stations that are already working for us and we're going to turn it up. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to totally start from scratch and reinvent ourselves. We are just going to amplify what's already working. You're going to invite more of the good things into your life. How can you make more of this happen? The things that are working. Okay, I've acknowledged that it works. Good. It feels good. Why? What feels good about this? What feels good in my body? And how can I create more of it? How can I carve out more time to do this thing? How can I find more time to do the things in my business that bring me joy? Because when you start doing all of those things, your life is going to supercharge. You are going to skyrocket into the land of happiness, energy, and just pure greatness. And I am so excited to help you create this list. And I am so excited for you because that is what your life should be. It should be the biggest, best version of your life. And the way that you do that is by focusing on what brings you joy. I'm Lauren Chapnick. This is Biggest Best Life. If you like what you heard today, I invite you to please leave a 5-star rating and review. Share this with somebody who needs to hear it and trust your gut. Get off your butt. And until next time, make today awesome. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Biggest Best Life. If today lit a fire in you, follow, review, and share it with someone who needs the spark. And remember to text Best Life, one word, to 833-681-6463 to get Lauren's weekly dose of motivation straight to your phone. Now go out there, live boldly, love wildly, and never settle for less than your biggest, best life.